the key challenges that you faced during the process?
I think the first challenge or the first initiation of change itself happened within the learning ecosystem or within the L&D department itself, because it was imperative for all the learning leaders and the learning team to understand what is it that they are really wanting to achieve. For that, what is it that we as a team needs to be prepared first before we start preparing the rest of the ecosystem in the employees. To give you a small example, doing a training virtual versus doing a training in standing mode or physical mode is absolutely different. So having your virtual training tools, ensuring that you are comfortable using those tools, ensuring that you are able to create the same kind of an engagement that you would otherwise create in a classroom when you're doing sessions. And last but not the least, to be very comfortable with silence. Because you have a lack of response in digital, and in a classroom you have that flexibility to really bring on board and bring people back quickly. But in digital, absolute control or zone of control is very minimal, right? So all these were initial shifts or transition stages for the trainer himself or the learning team itself. The second challenge I would say is in terms of identifying the learning ecosystem. What is it that you would want to really deploy? You have today, fortunately, you have a lot of ecosystems which have been developed as an outfall of pandemic, which gives you learning experience from A to Z. And it also has its own cost and ROI linked. So to what extent would you want to invest yourself? Are your employees ready to that, to really co-opt and embrace that level of change? You want to do a gradual change, based off change, or you want to bring in a sudden rational change and bring everybody and take everybody with a shocker? So all these were really conversations that were happening across the table. And then obviously to understand how do you bring in the same efficiency of content. In a classroom, your trainer has the capability to really tweak and twist the content according to the learner pulse. Here, in a digital system, your learner pulse is something which is absolutely missing. You will not get to know the learner pulse unless until he has completed that specific course or taken that learning journey completions. So here it's kind of a lag process, where in a classroom it can also be a lead process, wherein you get to know what is the pulse. Are they really understanding? Do I need to do a course correction in between? Do I need to bring in some examples quickly to realign and all of it? But here the challenge in the digital is you get to know only you get to only measure the outcome. You really will not get a sense of while it is actually happening or in the flow of work. So fourth thing I would say is, like I said, aligning the content to context.
Okay.
So you have a lot of content and you can create content in a fly, but to what extent would you be able to create and align the content to the context of learning and to the context of the learner? Okay. And fifth one, I would say, while you have the best of ecosystems of LMS in place, we have the best of virtual trainers in place, you have best of content in place. The next challenge is when would you want to give it to the employee? What is the right time for you to really deploy that content or make sure that the employee has access to the content? Do you want to give it as a free access, open access content that he can access at any point in time? Or you want to give it to him only at that point of need so that he really values and understands that point, that content validation and that sanctity of content? So similarly, multiple things which were initial points of discussion, which really paved way to really design and deliberate on what's the right methodology and approach that we need to really take.